That was a handful of GOP candidates Wednesday outlining their plan for the economy at this week's debate. But are their plans too drastic for the market as it stands now, or is this the type of overhaul the economy needs? Joining us now, a man who knows a lot about the economy, William Isaac, former chairman of the FDIC. Bill, appreciate you being here with us. We hear about the massive revamps that these folks want to do. Flat tax, fair tax, eliminate the IRS, these kinds of things. First of all, is it possible? Second of all, is it reasonable?
Well, Leland, it's really good to be with you. Happy Halloween from Sarasota. I think that we definitely need to overhaul the economy. Basically the past 20 years have not gone well, and particularly the past 7 or 8 years have gone very poorly. And it's really hurting the folks most in need. The bottom third of our population is really been suffering. At the top, we're doing really well with the stock market and everything else, all the improvements in value there. But for the folks that are struggling in the middle class and the lower middle class, we're really suffering, and we have to. I don't think
anyone's going to argue with you that the middle class is suffering and there's an issue in terms of income growth and those kinds of things. The question, though, is as you look at it, how do you fix it? Is something like completely changing the U.S. tax code from 73,000 pages to 3 pages even possible to do? Is it reasonable to be talking about these things, or are they just pie-in-the-sky plans?
Well, I certainly think that simplifying the tax code is a worthy objective, but I don't think that's going to turn the economy around by itself. I think there are some more fundamental things. I think we've got to get monetary policy right. We've got to get fiscal policy right, and we've got to get some of the regulatory burdens out of the way so that businesses can start operating successfully again. For example, we're just overwhelming the banking industry with regulation, and it's really hurting. A lot of people cannot gain access to the banking system today because of the mounds of regulation that have been heaped on the banks.
Somebody who's talked a lot about cutting regulation is Dr. Ben Carson, and I want to play a back and forth from the debate that he just had in terms of the discussion of whether his tax plan was possible or not. Take a listen.
You'd have to cut government by about 40% to make it work with a $1.1 trillion goal.
It's not true.
It is true. I looked at the numbers.
I was once told that 80% of all statistics are a lie. With that in mind, as these candidates are throwing around all of these numbers, this will work, that'll work, I can do it at a 10% flat tax rate. No, you need a 15% flat tax rate. Does anyone really know? Is there any truth in the numbers that we're hearing these candidates throw out?
I don't think we know in any detail yet. It's way too early. But I do believe that directionally they're right. We need to reduce the intrusiveness of government on our economy. We need to spend less. We need to get our fiscal policies under control. We can't continue to run up these deficits, and we've got to find some way to bring the lower third of our population into the economy. Right. And all these things can be done, and I think directionally these Republican candidates all have it right. But I don't know that any of them you could say, well, that's the precise plan that we'd like to see.